Hello and welcome back to another Q&A session, and in today's video we're looking at the Help to Buy scheme equity loan from the government. But before we get into today's video, make sure you head over to our social media. The links will be in the description, and give us a follow, as well as if you've got any other questions you can DM us on there. So let's just get straight into it then. The Help to Buy scheme.
Yeah.
First of all, what is the Help to Buy scheme?
So the equity loan on the Help to Buy scheme is where, in a nutshell, government will give you up to 20% or 40% if you're in London, towards purchasing a new home, which means obviously you only have to put in about 5% deposit, and then obviously they will pay 20 or 40%, up to 20 or 40%, and then that you can repay that within the first 5 years interest free. So that's pretty much what it is.
Okay, so going back to 2019, there was the applications closed for an ISA, where you're buying your house, you open an ISA account, you put your money in, and then the government top it up. Is this essentially the replacement, or is this been around for a while?
No, it's been around for a few years, so I don't think it's a replacement. It's just a different product.
Okay, so looking at a Help to Buy scheme, the equity loan, can I buy any property with that?
No. So these are the sort of small prints when you get into it. It has to be a developer who is already enrolled into the Help to Buy scheme. You can't just go. It has to be obviously a new home, and it can't be just any new home. It has to be from a developer that's already enrolled into the Help to Buy scheme.
But it's got to be a residential.
So it has to be your first time sort of home. So residential. Yeah.
So when you say it's got to be your first time, does that mean I can only use it once?
Yeah.
And no more. Okay.
Only once, and only from certain developers.
Okay. Now, you touched on this briefly a little bit. In terms of your interest rates, you said in the first 5 years it's interest free. But what about after the 5th year?
So it's 1.75, and then I think after April it'll be 2% above the CPI, basically 2% above that. So if you can't sort of pay it within the first 5 years, it's probably something you want to avoid.
Okay. Now, I've got a few questions around this, few doubts in terms of the Help to Buy scheme. What are the limitations in terms of selling your house, or can you add value to it? For example, can you, I don't know, what are your freedoms, what are your restrictions in terms of the house you buy?
Well, the restrictions, obviously there's a certain period that you can't sell that property or remortgage or anything on it, and if you were to sort of sell it on, you have to pay 20% of the profit back to the government. So it's not ideal. If it helps you sort of get on the property ladder, yeah, by all means. But there are certain sort of small prints that I advise everyone to sort of read into before making a decision.
Okay, but in terms of the changes to the house, are you free to do that?
Yeah, you can make changes to the house, but like I said, you're adding value. But if you say, for example, you buy the house for 100,000 and you spend 10,000 in it, and you sell it for 150, if you got the 20%, or if you got the equity loan from the government, you have to pay a percentage of the profit back to the government. So it's you're reducing your sort of profit there.
Okay, in terms of the houses you buy, you're restricted to certain builders and developers. But what about the pricing? Is the price of the house capped at all?
Price is capped, yeah. I think it's 240 odd thousand pounds, except for London. Anywhere else in the, I mean, there's a list on the government website.
We'll put the list down in the description too.
It is capped, and usually they're not in prime locations, if you like. It's just to promote sort of developers to go into deprived areas in cities and, make them a bit better and build houses.
Okay. So bringing all that in together, would you say the Help to Buy scheme is worth it?
The Help to Buy scheme, the short answer for me is no. The reason for that is, what I've seen in the past is, say for example, in an area, price of a 3-bedroom house is 100,000 for the sake of argument, and they bring in a new development with Help to Buy. What I've seen is, I mean, this might not be true for every scheme, but based on what I've seen is obviously the price of the new builds there should be around about 150,000 for a 3-bed, but they will be selling at 180. So you're paying a huge premium for something that doesn't sort of, gain you as much as you think it does. It sounds good that they're giving you the 20%, but first of all, you have to pay it back within 5 years. If you don't, obviously you're going to be paying interest, and and obviously if you sell on, you got to pay a percentage of your profit to the government. Whereas if you were to, say for example, in the same areas, if instead of buying the house for 180, if you were to buy it at 130 yourself and pay 10%, that will cost you 13,000, whereas that is 18, but then you get 20% on it or whatever. So it may save you a little bit on the sort of deposit side, but then once you've added value to your property, like we've mentioned in the other videos, if you ever decide to sell on or remortgage or whatever, that money is yours, and it's it's not subject to tax. So I would say, again, you have to look at every scheme, but personally, I don't think it's a good idea to buy one with the Help to Buy.
Okay, so essentially what you're saying is, if you're looking to buy a house and you're struggling on the deposit side, just wait it out a bit longer, get a bigger deposit yourself, and avoid the Help to scheme.
Yeah,
Help to buy scheme.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there were a few questions around the Help to Buy scheme. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, and if you've got any questions regarding this video or any of our other videos, then either comment it down below, or like I said at the start of the video, message us through our social media, which will be linked in the description, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.